Willie D Live.
What's up, family? On this Memorial Day, while most sane Americans were saluting fallen soldiers, Donald Trump, your president, was busy posting pictures of his enemies. Yeah, enemies that included Barack Obama, whom he called Barack Hussein Obama. Barack is holding a name sign, right, that says Barack Hussein Obama. Uh, Looks like, yeah, that's John Brennan right next to him, former CIA director. And then just above him to the right is former FBI director James Comey. And then you see Susan Rice right above him at the top center. Now, fam, these are all former U.S. officials who Trump wants to see in prison. Yeah, fam, he wants to see all of those people in prison. This is a picture of Trump and Barack and Melania and Michelle. And I guess these were the good old days. I don't know. This is 2017. What a difference 9 years make. Yeah, man, look at all the smiling and all that stuff. Look at that. The whole time, Trump was hating. Trump is that dude. Trump is that dude, that friend, that person that you think is a friend in the picture that you took, that's smiling. But deep down inside, they're raging with envy. Right there, you you wouldn't even be able to tell because he's doing it so good. But Melania kind of got that look on her face like she knows, like, yeah, we're going to get them. We're going to stick it to them. Yeah, she couldn't really hide her expression and her feelings. But Trump did. He's pretty good at it. But let's go back to this pic, fam, where he has this picture. He reshared this picture. Now, this is, of course, he calls them the Shady Bunch. This is a knockoff from the Brady Bunch, right? So he has them in a tic-tac-toe grid and calling them the Shady Bunch. Now, in his caption for this picture, he called these people a bunch of sick group of people who have weaponized the government. A bunch of sick group of people who have weaponized the government. Can I think of anybody in recent years or just days who has weaponized the government? I don't know who would have that kind of power. I can't think of anybody with that kind of power. Who's weaponized the government? Who's weaponized the government? Meaning they use the government to do their bidding and to use the government to gain favors and punish their enemies. I can't think of anybody, fam. Can you think of one person that has weaponized the government for their own benefit? Anyway, fam, I find it extremely ironic that a criminal who is guilty of the same thing they're accusing someone else of is putting their argument out there in public. Like usually if you're guilty of something, you don't want to remind other people of that thing because they're going to start thinking about you. So you don't want them thinking about you because they, you're guilty, man. Let's say you robbed the bank before. I don't know, you robbed the bank. And you're around a group of people. If you are somebody of sane mind, right? You might not want to be criticizing somebody else for robbing a bank because everybody know you robbed the bank. Everybody know it. It's not like a secret. Like you went to jail, you was on TV, they had you in handcuffs, you did the prep walk, you just got out of prison, people came to pick you up They had a welcome home party for you. Everybody know you've been to prison, but you trying to talk down on somebody else who robbed the bank. You trying to accuse somebody else of robbing a bank or saying somebody else robbed the bank, and you going in on them, knowing that you a bank robber. That don't make a lot of sense. That's like, I don't know, a person of the night, that sell their body, trying to call somebody else a HOE, right? Come on, man. You don't want to do that to yourself, but he do it all the time. With Trump, every accusation is a confession. I say it all the time, fam. If you really want to know what Trump is up to, listen to what comes out of his mouth. If you want to know what he's guilty of, listen to what he accuses other people of doing. And that's what he's doing. He's doing the exact same thing. You would think that somebody who enjoys doing a certain thing, committing a certain act so frequently, might not have such vitriol for someone else that does the exact same thing. You would think that there would be some form of camaraderie there, right? Because there's a little relatability, right? You would think, but not with Trump. All day, every day. And why is he so fixated on Barack? I'm telling you, Trump is obsessed with Barack Obama. He is obsessed. Barack Obama didn't do nothing without others. Like everything he did, he didn't force and bend, and he didn't do it like that. He did it, everything he did, good and bad, he did through diplomacy. Everything. Trump did a lot of things that he's rogued his way through. He's bullied his way through. He's threatened his way through. Barack has been diplomatic about it, right? And so it's going to be hard to put him in jail because he went through the proper channels to get the approval for whatever he did. You understand what I'm saying? Whereas Trump, he totally circumvents the rules. Yeah, he circumvents protocol. Like, yo, man, the buck starts and end with me. And I'm going to get you to prosecute this guy. And if you don't, you're fired. I'm going to keep on firing people until they do what I want them to do. That's amazing. And there is no oversight. The people who have been tasked with checks and balances, they either quit or they're just hanging on for dear life and kissing the ring, bending the knee. Yeah, man, it's sad. They're bending the knee butt naked too. It's cold game, man. Cold game. This dude is really posting pictures of his enemies on Memorial Day. Remember when Trump called the military people who have been captured, prisoners of war, he called them losers? He called them losers. He called John McCain a loser. That's what I mean, fam. Like, how can you call someone a loser? How can you call someone a loser who actually went to war, especially to fight for this country that you get so much from, and you was unwilling to fight for the country? You purposely dodged the draft 5 times, not once, not twice, not 3 times. You dodged the draft 5 times. You should have been kissing McCain's butt because he and others made it possible for you to even become somebody, for anybody to even know the hell you are. Ain't no way somebody as slow as Trump gets elected outside of the United States. He got elected strictly on the basis of notoriety and his skin color. Ain't no way somebody other than a white person could have got that position. The White House, the president, and he that slow, that dumb, that rude, that crud, that disrespectful, that unclassy. Come on, fam. It can't happen. It won't happen anywhere else. Remember when we used to think that being a president was a dignified thing? We thought the president, like to be the president, man, you got to be, first of all, man, you got to be smart. You got to be very smart to be. It's the highest office. So you think, man, you got to be smart to be a president. You got to be classy to be a president. You got to have some style, right? We don't really equate morality with being a president, because if you really understand government, you already know that you cannot compare morals with politicians, because politicians have political ambitions, and what matters most is winning, getting money, power, influence. That's what matters. And that does not go together with morals. So there is no moral compass in Congress, point blank, period. I think we keep on looking for that, and we're never going to find it. And that's one of the problems. Like, we're trying to elect people based on morals. And so when we find out about somebody and we say, I can't vote for him. I can't vote for him. I can't vote. Donald Trump, zero. But he's the president. Go figure. No more talk.